Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, AP Euro Readings. If y'all have or haven't noticed, I changed my profile picture. And basically what I'm going to try to do is change my profile picture every new unit to like what we learned or something related with the past unit. So my first one was the Pope ziplining. And my second one now is the Plague Doctor mixed with Mean Girls, because obviously they have to be funny, because that's just how we roll here. So we're going to go ahead today and dive into Unit 1, Topic 1. I'm kind of doing this like a Mr. Sin way, because if I were to do Unit 1, there's just so much information that we haven't even covered yet, and it's just a lot of information overall. I mean, units, they're units for a reason, they're not topics. Like, there's just so much information. And I'll make this a playlist, by the way. And as y'all know, whenever I yell at you, highlight, you better highlight that. If you take notes, great, but what I have noticed, or what people have told me, is when they do take notes and highlight their stuff, they do, or they did better on the Euro test. So, oh yeah, by the way, how was the Euro test for everybody? I actually did a lot better than I thought I would, but I think it was like pretty hit or miss for people. Like, people either did really good or really bad, and I'm so glad that I didn't take World, because the person I talked to today got a 13 on their test. So, anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into Unit 1, Topic 1. So, the Roman Empire falls in the 5th century, and it basically enters its flop era. Highlight Roman Empire. So, Rome has been holding it all together through laws, trade, culture, and roads. But once it collapsed, chaos. So welcome to the Middle Ages. Highlight Middle Ages, a time where almost no scientific discovery, no viral art drop, and very few leaders worthy of putting in a historical TikTok. Instead, society ran on the feudal system. Highlight feudal system, which is when lords own the land and serfs. Highlight serfs, and this is serfs as S-E-R-F. Not when you go to the beach and you bring your little surfboard. No. And serfs are basically medieval interns that couldn't quit. Because remember, if you watch my videos, they are the little puppets who are forced to work and they can't leave. And they worked for basically nothing. And the only thing keeping Europe from a total mess was the Catholic Church. Highlight Catholic Church. It gave stability, sure, but it was also super conservative.
What are you wearing? I'm wearing a dress. Go change right now. But Mass is about to start.
Which means it was basically the ultimate gatekeeper of ideas. But eventually, the system started to crack. So first come the Crusades. Highlight Crusades. Holy wars that accidentally turned into Europe's study abroad program. So Europeans came back from the Middle East and were like, wait, Islamic scholars are out here doing algebra, medicine, and astronomy? Then the Black Death hit. Of course, highlight the Black Death. We love the Black Death. No, we don't. And it was serious, Lexi. Don't say it wasn't that serious. But the Black Death hit in the 1300s, as we should know, killing about 1/3 of Europe. Tragic, yes. But it also destroyed serfdom, because peasants could be like, pay me more or your crops can die with me. So the churches, highlight churches, so the church's powers weakened. Feudalism started crumbling, and Europe was ready for a glow up. So enter the Renaissance.
Work, Angelica, work.
Let's highlight Renaissance as basically all of Unit 1. And Renaissance is literally the definition for the word rebirth. So it started in Italy in the 1300s, specifically Florence. If we really want to get into detail, that's probably going to be a test question. And it was all about rediscovering classical culture. So highlight classical culture, specifically from Greece and Rome. So out of this came humanism. Highlight humanism, basically saying, let's study humans, their history, and their potential instead of just memorizing Bible verses. So then came individualism. Highlight individualism. The idea that people could stand out and become famous for their talents. So this is down the road, but hi, Leonardo da Vinci. So religion was still around, but it wasn't the main character anymore. And the game changer was the printing press. Highlight printing press, invented by Johannes Gutenberg in 1450s. So kind of think of it as medieval TikTok. So basically, ideas could spread anywhere faster and literacy went up. And old school authorities lost their monopoly on information. This curiosity also sent Europeans looking outward. Thanks to new navigation tools, highlight navigation, and better cartography, which if you weren't in human last year, cartography is map making, so highlight cartography. Explorers set sail in what we call Age of Discovery. Highlight Age of Discovery. And you might be asking why. Well, you probably learned about this in your 7th grade Texas history. The 3 G's, God, Gold, and Glory. Make sure you highlight God, Gold, and Glory. So what was God for? To spread Christianity. What was glory for? To make your king and yourself look awesome, and gold to get rich. And what were the results of this? The Columbian Exchange. Highlight Columbian Exchange, which was a giant switch swap and trade between meats, food, plants, crops, animals, and unfortunately diseases between Europe and the Americas. Potatoes and tomatoes, amazing. Smallpox wiping out indigenous populations, horrific. Oh, and Europe also expanded the Atlantic slave trade. Highlight Atlantic slave trade. So, not their best move. So meanwhile, the economy was getting a facelift. So with fewer serfs, farming shifted to large-scale agriculture. Highlight large-scale highlight large-scale agriculture. And a money economy. Highlight money economy. Replaced bartering goods for bread. So enter banking and finance. Highlight banking and finance, which created powerful new elites like the Medici family. Highlight the Medici family, they're going to be important later on. And where were they? In Florence. By the way, Florence is kind of like the New York City of Italy. It's kind of like really popular. Like, if you didn't think growing up that Chicago was a state, that's basically how you would think of Florence. Like, Florence was a state, not Italy. And like I said, the Medici family, they're kind of like the Kardashians of the medieval time. They are insanely rich, always sponsoring the latest artist, well, the it artist, pulling political strings. So this was the rise of commercial capitalism. Highlight commercial capitalism, an economic system where private businesses and profits started running the show. And of course, politics had to get messy too. Monarchs started centralizing tax collection, highlight tax collection, and building bigger militaries, highlight militaries, which made them stronger but also led to endless wars of who had sovereignty. Highlight sovereignty. And that is aka the right to rule their own turf without interference. So this is where Europe officially led the medieval times in the medieval times. They're moving past it now. And they stepped in the world of early age modern drama. So if you learn anything, this is basically the summary of everything you should know about this chapter. Europe went from the flop age of the Middle Ages, through chaos of the Crusades and the Black Death, into the glow up of the Renaissance, powered by humanism, individualism, and the printing press, and straight into the world-changing mess, Age of Discovery, which is a total rebrand but does have some dark side effects. But that is basically all for topic 1, unit 1. Have a great day. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I don't know, I hope we don't have another quiz soon. Bye.
I was born in May.
May, so you are a Cancer?
No.
Libra?
No.
Scorpio?
No.
It's my first